This is the Conservative American Message, hosted by the one and only Cam Lau. It's Saturday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2022. You can join me every Saturday to hear the greatest political commentary known to man. As we reach the end of the year, a lot of people are trying to spend money to lower their taxable income for the year 2022. Whether it's retirement contributions, business write-offs, or charitable donations, everyone is looking to dump cash fast. Because providing more tax revenue to the government is the least efficient way for your dollars to benefit anyone. As many are aware, Joe Biden had changed the reporting requirement of who receives a 1099 form. 1099 forms are basically for people who are self-employed, independent contractors, sell things online, or stuff like that where you don't receive the traditional W-2 from your employer to file your income taxes on. If you meet certain criteria, the platform that facilitates any transactions related to this must send out a 1099 to you and the IRS. The reporting requirement was only for those who made more than $20,000 and had more than 200 transactions in 1 year. But Biden changed this to anyone who made $600 or more. This new policy mostly hurts those who do small side gigs like selling stuff online and mowing lawns and, stuff that isn't necessarily real income, but it's just some extra side cash. But even if you don't have any side gigs, if you receive money on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, you can start to come under scrutiny under this new policy. They will have to determine whether or not your transactions are taxable income. When I had roommates and I lived in an apartment, we used these kind of apps to pay each other back for rent, utilities, and other bills. Now, the IRS says that those transactions are not considered taxable income. You can only be taxed on money given to you in exchange for goods and services. But that still leaves this question. If I sell a couch, for instance, on Facebook Marketplace, do I have to pay taxes on that income? Does the buyer have to pay sales tax? I already paid taxes on the income used to purchase the couch originally. I also paid sales tax on the couch when I bought it in the first place. So how many times can we tax the same dollar? Well, that's exactly what Joe Biden is trying to find out. Luckily, the IRS has decided to postpone this new $600 rule, but we already have certain types of property that continue to be taxed over and over. You pay property taxes every year on a piece of property that you supposedly own. You must pay sales tax on vehicles every time they are sold and register them every year at a cost, all while using the money that you paid income tax on. It's just too much taxation. And yet, no matter how much more the government takes right out of your paycheck every period, and every time you buy anything, they still come up short and grow the deficit every year. At the end of the day, taxation is theft. Leftists like to talk a lot about the rich paying their fair share in taxes, and they also like to talk an awful lot about President Trump. So why not go after the billionaire and find out what he has been paying in taxes? The House Ways and Means Committee finally has ordered Trump's tax returns to be made public for the last 6 years. He fought it all the way, but Democrats were able to put it to a vote just before they lost the majority in the House. It was revealed that for several years, Trump has paid little to no federal income tax. That might sound like a smoking gun, but I can assure you it's not. They have not revealed that Trump has done anything illegal. He used legal tax write-offs like any other business to reduce his tax burden. Now, if it upsets you that Donald Trump paid less income taxes than you in certain years, you need to realize that Donald Trump also creates thousands of jobs whose wages are taxed. He creates goods and services which are taxed. And here we go again on the taxation train. But if you still think it isn't fair, consider this. Is money going to benefit you more in the hands of Donald Trump or other billionaire business owners, or in the hands of the federal government? Because at least with those guys, they're going to reinvest it in the economy and in their employees. The government will just send more money to foreign nations or pump more into welfare programs that disincentivize working. What needs to be realized is that we are all paying far too much in taxes. Of course, there are some people who play the system and collect checks and food stamps so they can sit on the couch, but there are actually a lot of Americans who are out working and they pay a lot in taxes, yet they still have to be on a government program to afford to live. There are Americans who make enough to live, but they pay so much in taxes that after their take-home pay, they still have to receive this government assistance. That doesn't add up. If we cut these programs down and reduce the taxes significantly, the middle class could afford to live off their own income. But even if we did cut down these programs, the government will spend that money before you can even think about letting people keep more of their own hard-earned money. Once again in Virginia, there is a school district that has gone insane liberal to the detriment of its students. Thomas Jefferson High School in Fairfax, Virginia, has been racially discriminating against non-minority students wishing to attend the school. They are among the top-rated high schools in the nation, but in 2020, the school decided that its regular method of acceptance based on standardized testing scores was not racially equitable. After dropping the standard in exchange for more minority students, the freshman class went from 1% black to 7%, and 3% Hispanic to 11%. On the other hand, Asian students fell from 73% to 54%. They are more concerned with racial diversity to select their students than actual academic achievements. Parents have filed a lawsuit against the Fairfax County School Board for racial discrimination. They won in district court, but the decision is being appealed in the Fourth Circuit. But it gets worse. Not only is academic achievement not the first standard to which students can be awarded, it is practically discouraged to achieve anything. There are about 34,000 students nationally who are commended every year by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. This commendation is based on PSAT scores and is crucial for obtaining certain college scholarships. The school decided to wait to recognize these students and inform them that they had received the commendation until after the deadline had passed to apply for many of these scholarships. After the letters were discreetly handed to these students months after the fact, parents became understandably upset. The principals sent out an email to the parents stating, "We want to recognize students for who they are as individuals, not focus on their achievements." A student who questioned why he was receiving the letter so late was told, "There's a lot of students who didn't get the award, and we didn't want them to feel bad about it." Parents have now written a letter to the state calling for the principal and other school officials to be fired. Our education system is moving away from actual academics, and their new goal is to be equitable and be sure that nobody's feelings are hurt. Tax dollars well spent, America. Well, that's all I have time for. If you want me to talk about something on the show, let me know at the Conservative American Message on Instagram or Facebook. Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate you all. Have a great week and stay conservative.